episode in college that absolutely revolutionized everything about how I see life, how I live life, and how I see myself. And I am hoping that this story will inspire you to also have a revolutionary moment in your life. Well, it was the summer of 2017, and it was between semesters, so I had off. I did not have a scholarship that carried me through summer, so I always got my summers off. And the guy that I was dating at the time gave me a longboard because he knew that I wanted to skateboard. And it's honestly good judgment on his part that he got me a longboard instead of a skateboard, because I can barely go through life without tripping over my own feet. Like, I have literally tripped over my own feet. He knew what he was doing. I spent a lot of that summer practicing with him, and he was, naturally better at it than me. He was more athletic. Pretty much everybody is, so I guess it doesn't say much, but he was athletic and I was not, and so it took me several months to finally get it down pat. But by the time that I went back to college for the semester, I finally had figured it out. I was able to ride it without killing anybody or myself. One day after my neuroscience class, I decided not to take the bus because, hey, I got wheels right here. I am gonna ride instead of just taking the bus. I head out and I pass a couple of other students on the sidewalk, and the girl says to the guy that she's walking next to as I pass, "Wow, I could never ride something like that." I didn't know exactly what it was at first until I had time to think about it, but whenever she said that, I could just tell that there was some kind of meaning in it, and it just hit me with this feeling of, this is profound. And it wasn't until later, after really thinking about what it was, that I was like, here's this girl who says that she couldn't do something like that. Before that summer, I had been that person. I had been the one who thought that I would never be boarding. But it had always been something that I wanted to do, and I always felt limited by what I felt inside. It was not a reflection of whether I could or couldn't. It was simply a reflection of how confident I had been in my potential, in my ability, and it was just this dawning realization of, wow, I've grown. I have actually come to a place that I never thought I would be, and the only thing holding me back was me. My main regret in this whole incident is that I was not able to tell that girl what her comment had meant to me. Even if I had thought to circle back, I mean, like I said, it took me some time to think about it. I was not about to go circle back and be like, hey, what you said? I got a feeling about it. I don't know what it means, but it's a feeling. Might be a little creepy. But my point is that I never thought that I would get there, and there I was. I was riding a board, and even despite all the things that I had told myself growing up, I was doing it. I can tell you right now, it has changed my life quite literally. I would not be YouTubing today if I had stuck to my old mindset of, I'm not going to be able to do this. Just because I want to do it doesn't mean I can do it. Because whenever I started out on YouTubing, I couldn't video edit. And I was always that person growing up that was teased even by my own friends for not being good with tech. They just always thought it was a laughing point. And I was like, oh, laugh along, because I wasn't good with tech. I never grew up with tech. The most that I ever had growing up was like this really dinosaur computer. There is no other way to say it. It was a fossil. My sister and I would just play with the little screensaver settings, and we would just watch them, and that's kind of all we would do. My sister would mess with the art program, but that is my experience growing up. I didn't even know much about the internet until I entered high school. I guess I kind of knew about it with middle school, but we didn't get internet at our house until I was senior in high school, I believe. So I just didn't have much experience. I didn't even know YouTube was career worthy until I was like mid-college. So I have been through so much drastic change, and I'm telling you guys this story of mine because I want it to be your story too. If you're telling yourself that I could never do this, this will never happen, this is too hard, I'm here to tell you it is not too hard. And just because something is hard does not make it impossible. I always knew that God wanted me to do more with my life, but I didn't realize what it was until, YouTubing, and quite literally that realization that I should go into YouTubing hit me. Really, I have like a flashbulb memory of whenever it hit me that I should go into YouTube. All that would have ended if I had not developed this mindset of anything is possible. It doesn't mean it's going to be easy. It doesn't mean there's not going to be setbacks. It doesn't mean that you can stay the same, because you can't. The beautiful thing about challenging yourself and growing a project is that you are going to grow right along with that project. You cannot exact change into the world until you have changed yourself to be more of what you want to see in the world. So I'm here to tell you, even if it looks tough, even if it feels like you will not make it through, even if you have to get up every day and fight yourself to do whatever it is that you're wanting to do, even if that is the case for your life right now, and I can tell you that I have been through obstacles and I speak from experience on this, if that's what you really want to make your life out of, if that's how you really want to make an impact and a legacy on this world, then you do it. You can do it. At the very least, don't fear failure. Simply fear not succeeding. Please, I implore you, go out there and make your life nothing less than you can be.